Welcome, my friend. Come closer. Take a slow breath and think about this. Look at the road outside your window right now, or remember the last time you walked or drove on one. Smooth, black, endless. Almost every journey you take happens on asphalt. It's quiet under your feet or tires. No clatter of stones. No splash of mud. It's strong enough to carry trucks, buses, thousands of cars every day without cracking. It's everywhere: city streets, highways stretching across countries, airport runways, parking lots. Yet most of us never stop to think about where it came from or what it really is. This dark, sticky material, made from the same ancient stuff as oil, has shaped our cities, our speed, our freedom to move for more than a century. It lets us travel faster, safer, farther than our ancestors could ever dream. It connects homes to schools, farms to markets, people to opportunities. But it also covers the earth in a thick black layer, changing landscapes, absorbing heat, directing rainwater in ways nature never intended. Today, let's walk its long black road together, from natural tar pits hidden in deserts and lakes, to the smooth highways we drive on every day. It didn't start with machines. It started with sticky black lakes in the earth. Ready? Then let's begin. Long before highways, asphalt existed in nature, not as roads, but as a thick, black, sticky substance seeping from the earth. We call it bitumen. It's a natural form of petroleum, oozing up through cracks in places where ancient oil deposits meet the surface. Around 3000 to 1000 BCE, in the land between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, Mesopotamia, people discovered these dark pools. They didn't know it was oil. They just knew it was useful. The sticky black liquid clung to everything it touched, and it hardened when it dried. One of the first things they used bitumen for was waterproofing boats. They built reed boats from the marshes, then smeared the thick bitumen over the outside and inside. Water slid off instead of soaking in. Fishermen and traders could travel farther on the rivers, carrying grain, pottery, and stories. Bitumen was also a perfect glue for building. The Sumerians and Babylonians pressed mud bricks together with layers of this natural tar. The sticky bond held strong even when rain came or floods rose. Many ziggurats and city walls stood for centuries because of it. In ancient Egypt, bitumen traveled along trade routes from the Near East. They used it in mummification, coating the body to preserve it, sealing the wrappings, protecting the dead for eternity. The black substance became part of sacred rituals, a bridge between life and the afterlife. People also used bitumen as medicine. They mixed it into salves for wounds, skin problems, even toothaches. It was thought to have healing powers: antibacterial, soothing, protective. In the Indus Valley, far to the east, archaeologists found bitumen used as mortar and sealant in brick structures. It helped keep water out of wells and drainage systems, early engineering that let cities grow larger and cleaner. Bitumen was nature's own glue and sealant, dark, messy, but incredibly effective. It didn't need factories or machines. It just waited underground, seeping up when the earth allowed, ready for anyone clever enough to use it. So long before asphalt became roads, bitumen was already part of human life, protecting boats, binding cities, preserving bodies, healing wounds. It was quiet, ancient, and powerful, a black gift from deep below the ground. And from those early uses, the long road to modern asphalt was just beginning. After the fall of Rome, roads in Europe fell into ruin. For centuries, through the Middle Ages and into the early modern period, most roads were just dirt tracks or rough stone paths. Rain turned them into mud. Wheels sank deep. Horses struggled. Travel was slow, dangerous, and uncomfortable. People tried many ways to improve them. Some laid logs side by side, corduroy roads, but they rotted quickly. Others piled gravel or broken stones, but without proper drainage, water still pooled and washed everything away. By the 1700s, long-distance travel was still a nightmare. Coaches broke axles, passengers got stuck, goods arrived late or damaged. Then came John McAdam, a Scottish engineer born in 1756. He spent years studying roads in Britain and America. He noticed that the best roads were the ones with good drainage and a firm, compact surface. In the 1810s, he developed a new method that would change road building forever. McAdam's idea was simple but brilliant. Build roads in layers. A base of large broken stones for strength, then smaller stones on top, pressed tightly together. No cement, no tar at first, just carefully graded stone compacted by traffic and rollers. The surface sloped gently so water drained off to the sides into ditches. These McAdam roads were revolutionary. They were smoother than dirt, harder than loose gravel, and much cheaper than paved stone. Coaches could travel faster, up to 10 miles per hour instead of 3 or 4. Mail arrived quicker. Trade grew. Farmers got produce to market fresher. People began to feel the world was shrinking. But McAdam still had limits. Dust rose in summer. Heavy rain could wash away the top layer. In the 1820s, engineers started experimenting with adding tar, a thick, sticky byproduct of coal, to bind the stones even tighter. They called the new mixture tarmac, tar plus McAdam. Workers heated the tar until it flowed like syrup, poured it over the compacted stones, then spread more crushed rock on top. The tar cooled and hardened, locking everything in place. Tarmac roads were smoother, dust-free, and far more waterproof. By the mid-1800s, tarmac roads spread across Britain, Europe, and America. Corrida coulda rolled faster and safer. Cities expanded outward because travel became easier. Trade routes grew stronger. The modern road network, the foundation for trains, cars, and trucks, was taking shape. In the 1800s, roads were still mud and stones. Then John McAdam invented a better way. Layered broken stone pressed tight. Later, people added tar, asphalt's cousin, and tarmac roads were born. Travel became faster, safer, drier. From rutted dirt tracks to solid, smooth surfaces, the road to our modern world had been paved, one layer, one idea, one journey at a time. By the late 1800s, the world was changing fast. Railways had connected cities, but most people still traveled on dirt roads or rough stone paths. Horses and carriages were slow, bumpy, and limited by weather. Then came the automobile, noisy, smelly, but incredibly fast. Suddenly, roads needed to be smoother and stronger than ever before. In the 1870s, the first true asphalt pavement appeared in America. Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington, D.C. was paved with asphalt concrete, a mixture of crushed stone and refined bitumen. It was smooth, quiet, and durable, nothing like the old dirt or cobblestone streets. People noticed the difference immediately. Carriages rolled easier, dust disappeared, and travel felt almost luxurious. The idea spread quickly. Cities across the United States and Europe began experimenting with asphalt paving. It was more expensive at first than macadam or gravel, but it lasted longer and required less maintenance. By the early 1900s, major streets in New York, London, Paris, and Berlin were being covered in black asphalt. Then came Henry Ford and the Model T in 1908. Cars became affordable for ordinary people. Millions of Americans bought them. Suddenly, everyone wanted to drive, to work, to visit family, to explore the countryside. But dirt roads couldn't handle the speed or the weight. Ruts formed, dust clouds rose, and accidents increased. Governments and engineers realized, we need a national road system. In the 1920s and 1930s, asphalt concrete production scaled up dramatically. Mixing plants appeared everywhere. Hot bitumen blended with gravel and sand, poured steaming onto prepared roadbeds, then rolled flat by heavy steamrollers. After World War II, the boom became unstoppable. In 1956, President Dwight D. Eisenhower signed the Interstate Highway Act, the largest public works project in American history. Over 40,000 miles of high-speed, limited-access highways were built across the country in the following decades, all paved with asphalt concrete, thick, durable layers designed to carry heavy trucks and fast cars for decades. Asphalt made the automobile age possible. Families could live farther from cities, suburbs grew rapidly. Businesses could ship goods faster and cheaper. Vacations became road trips. The freedom to go anywhere, anytime, changed society forever. Cities expanded outward. Shopping malls, drive-in theaters, fast food chains, all depended on good asphalt roads and parking lots. The world became more connected, more mobile, more dependent on the black ribbons stretching across the land. When cars arrived, roads needed to be smooth and strong. Asphalt concrete, stone mixed with refined bitumen became the answer. Cities paved streets, highways stretched across countries. Asphalt made the automobile age possible. From bumpy dirt tracks to smooth ribbons of black, carried us into the modern world. Faster, farther, and forever changed. But asphalt, like so many things we've invented, has a dark side we didn't notice at first. The convenience and speed it brought came with hidden costs. Costs that grew quietly over decades until they became impossible to ignore. Producing asphalt starts with refining bitumen, the thick, heavy residue from crude oil. Refineries heat it, mix it with aggregates, and release smoke, sulfur dioxide, volatile compounds, and carbon dioxide into the air. In many places, especially older plants, the smell of tar and hot oil hangs over entire neighborhoods. Workers breathe it in. Nearby communities breathe it in. The air becomes heavier, and lungs pay the price. Then there's runoff. When rain falls on asphalt roads and parking lots, it can't soak into the ground like it does on soil or grass. Instead, water rushes across the surface, picking up oil, tire particles, brake dust, heavy metals from exhaust, and bits of broken asphalt itself. All that polluted water flows straight into storm drains, untreated, and pours into rivers, lakes, and coastal waters. Fish absorb the toxins. Birds eat contaminated insects. The chemicals build up in the food chain and eventually reach us. Cities covered in asphalt also trap heat. This is called the urban heat island effect. During the day, black surfaces absorb sunlight and radiate it back at night. Neighborhoods with lots of asphalt and concrete can be 5 to 10 degrees Celsius hotter than surrounding rural areas. Air conditioning runs harder. Heat-related illnesses rise. Trees and green spaces struggle to survive. Flooding gets worse too. Impermeable surfaces mean rainwater has nowhere to go except into pipes and rivers. Heavy rain overwhelms drains. Streets become rivers, basements flood, and homes are damaged. In many cities, old drainage systems can't keep up with bigger storms caused by climate change. By the 1970s and 1980s, scientists started measuring these effects. Studies showed higher pollution levels near highways. Fish in urban streams had deformed bodies. Bird populations dropped in cities with heavy asphalt coverage. In the 1990s and 2000s, public awareness grew. Photos of oil-slicked beaches, dying seabirds, and polluted rivers appeared in newspapers and on TV. People began to connect the black roads under their feet to the black problems in the environment. But asphalt has a dark side. Producing it releases CO2. Refining bitumen pollutes air and water. Roads absorb heat, making cities hotter. Rain can't soak in, floods increase. We're now facing the cost of covering the earth in black. The material that carried us forward so quickly, now asks us to slow down and think carefully about what comes next. Now we turn our eyes to the future, to what asphalt could become if we choose wisely. The material that once covered the earth in black is being rethought, redesigned, and in many places, made kinder to the planet we share. One of the most promising changes is porous asphalt. Unlike traditional dense asphalt that repels water, porous versions have gaps between the stones. Rain soaks right through into the ground below instead of rushing into drains and causing floods. It reduces runoff pollution, recharges groundwater, and helps cool cities by letting water evaporate. Another innovation is warm mix asphalt. Traditional hot mix needs temperatures over 150 degrees Celsius. That means lots of fuel and emissions. Warm mix uses additives or foam to lower the temperature by 20 to 40 degrees Celsius. Less energy used, less smoke from the plant, safer for workers, and roads still strong and long-lasting. Recycled asphalt pavement wrap is already changing the game. Old road surfaces are milled up, crushed, and mixed back into new asphalt, sometimes up to 50% or more recycled content. It saves virgin materials, reduces landfill waste, and cuts the need for new bitumen extraction. Many highways and city streets are now paved with a significant portion of yesterday's roads. Even the binder itself is evolving. Biobitumen, made from plant oils, algae, lignin from wood waste, or even cooking oil, is being tested as a replacement for petroleum bitumen. It's renewable, reduces fossil fuel dependence, and in some cases lowers emissions during production. The goal: keep the performance we love, but source it sustainably. Cities and countries are also acting. More places require permeable pavements in new developments, offer incentives for recycled content, and set carbon targets for road construction. Engineers are experimenting with solar roads, noise-reducing surfaces, and self-cleaning asphalt that breaks down pollutants. The future isn't about ripping up all asphalt, it's about using it smarter. Less heat-trapping black, more breathable green-gray surfaces. Less waste, more reuse. Less dependence on oil, more on plants and innovation. Asphalt teaches us something important. We can pave the way forward, but we must choose the right path. From sticky tar pits that ancient people used to seal boats, to endless highways that connect our modern world, keeps carrying us forward in speed, outward in reach, but also deeper into questions about balance, responsibility, and care for the earth. Thank you, my friend, for walking this long black road with me. I hope you see the pavement under your feet a little differently now. What everyday object should we explore next? A spoon? A zipper? A light bulb? Or something else entirely? Drop your ideas in the comments below. I read every one. Until next time, stay curious, drive mindfully, and keep choosing paths that lead somewhere good.